Hello, and welcome to another live stream with me, HG Tudor. And as people wander in, start to feed me your questions. We've just laughed at the sugars, and it's time for an impromptu live stream with your favorite velvety voiced narrator. Yes, he of the chocolate tonsils. Patan is straight out of the starting gate with a question for me. Do you always tell us the truth? I do. I do tell you the truth because the truth serves me accurately. I tell you the truth of the information that I supply to you. That's why in certain instances I won't give you an answer because I don't want to tell you certain information about me. So rather than tell you a porky pie, I just say I'm not going to answer that. The information that I tell you about narcissism and psychopathy is the truth of the way that I see the world and the way that my kind see the world. It would be pointless to provide you with misinformation. It's one of the things that irritates me about other platforms, that they peddle myths, regurgitate nonsense, and get things completely wrong. So, yes, I utilize the truth because it serves my purposes. Annette Seller, are you in the movies? At the moment, no. But Annette Seller also asks, have you ever been in movies? The answer to that is yes. If you're going to ask me which one, I'll save your breath. I'm not going to answer. Shikara, what a pleasant surprise. Absolutely. Sol, let's not speak about and the okay, Sol. Understood. But there might be people who've got questions about it. And this is an open forum. So whilst you may be singularly tired of hearing about the Duchess of Bronze, well, others may have questions. Chris Boozy Breath. Hello, Chris. Hello, hell, HG. It certainly is, isn't it? Delightful. If you were slumming it in Weatherspoons, sorry, where? As I currently am, what food would you order? I simply would rather go hungry. You're having sausage and mash, are you? Jolly good. Do you think the mash has actually been made from potatoes at Weatherspoons, or do you think that they've opened a bag of smash? Hmm? How big's your sausage, Chris Boozy Breath? And I mean the one on your plate, you degenerate pervert. You're welcome, Patan. Blazing Star, hit like fam. Wow. Pretty street, yeah. JAT, just found the live no notification. Those fuckers at YouTube trying to mess with my Tudorites, preventing them from hearing the voice of wisdom pouring into your ears. Seda MA, hi from Norga. Big day for you tomorrow, 17th of May. Get your flags out, get the boonard on, and get lashed up, Elizabeth MC, thank you for your videos. I've been able to change some of my behaviors now that I've been able to see how hurtful it can be to others. Well, rah for you indeed. Sophie Parker, HG, how does your voice just sound so low and sexy all the time? Do you sing? Love your incredible wit. Well, actually, my voice is like this, you see. And what I have to do is get these two rather large weights, put them on my balls, and they drag my balls down, deepening my voice. I also ensure that every morning I smoke a big fat cigar and slug a tumbler of whiskey to give it this gravelly, authoritative rumble that you all enjoy. Do I sing? Yes. You perhaps, Sophia, haven't been listening as long as others, where occasionally your glorious narrator will indeed break out into song. Chris Boozy Breath confirms it's smash. I think you should start a riot, Chris Boozy Breath, but do it after you've been to the toilet, because if you go to the toilet in Weatherspoons, you'll be gone for a very long time. Sol, can you please give us at least one destination for your 2023 summer holiday? Well, actually, I will be spending some of the summer in Germany. Yeah, I go to see the von Westenholz. Germany is a location for the ultra this summer. Sneaky freeloading oxygen breather. How many years have you been linked with URF? I think you need to rephrase that. Penny Jonas. HG, where did you get your education? Well, one day I was walking along the road and there was a man and he said, "Psst, come over here." I said, "Not fucking lightly, you nonce," and stabbed him in the eye with a fork because I had got a good education and knew about perverts like that who would hunger around trying to touch handsome young men such as I. And therefore, I got rid of him. I disincentivized him, something I particularly enjoying. I got my education at a primary school, and then I went to a church school. I then went to a sixth form college, and then I went to university. Educated chap I am. JAT, HG. I was listening to a podcast by Andrew on the Edge and Tessa Dunlop. She indicated that TMZ told her that the monarchy wasn't as sexy as. Well, I'm not sure really what's going on there, but the monarchy is sexy as hell. After all, think about the ability to polish your jewels on a daily basis. Wendy Flowers, HG, how did you come to have such an impressive command of vocabulary in the English language? Reading. When I was a young boy and hiding from Matriarch, which was the most effective way of ensuring that I wasn't subjected to her unpleasant manipulations, I would secrete myself in various places. We lived in a very large house which had a number of interesting hiding places. I'll be telling you all about that when I write about my experiences and complete the writing that has been undertaken so far. So I used to secrete myself away. I would invariably have a book with me. And I would read anything and everything. I would take books from my father's collection. I remember once, I can't remember who it was by, but it was a book about the slave plantations. And it was a little bit spicy, actually, which to a young fellow such as I was quite entertaining to read. I remember there was a character in it called Brass Door, if I remember rightly. I would also climb the trees in the garden and hide up there in the summer so I couldn't be found. And I would ensure that the hours would pass by as I would sit and read. And I would read so many different things. I would read Enid Blyton, reading about the famous Five and the Secret Seven. I would read about Nancy Drew. I would read Thomas Covenant. I would read Lord of the Rings. I would read the Dragonlance series, 1984, Animal Farm, Far from Madden Crowd, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Wuthering Heights, all manner of stuff. I'd read the Beano Annual. I would read at breakfast the back of the cornflake packet, and often I would take my father's newspaper and read that before him. So I would get up earlier than he would, so I could read the newspaper and get ahead of the day's news. So a lot of it just comes from the fact that I have been a comprehensive reader. Ian Fortian, HG, can you do a show about people who light fires and call it Knowing the Arsonist? Well, perhaps I should do. Skylark, I believe your subscriptions are being repressed, HG. Yes, they are. Let us band together. Let us march on the YouTube towers and tell them, what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. To ensure that the subscriptions are not repressed. There's a lot about the channel that finds itself out of favor. I think a lot of it is simply calling it as it is, which results in videos not being as prominent as they ought to be. And I'm not going to go into that particular bugbear, as I'll embark upon a rant, and Madam Time will outstride us. So, let us see what else we have. Amber Fallon asks, HG, I sense that you fancy Catherine, Princess of Wales. Thoughts? Who's to say that I haven't already sampled that particular fancy? I think she's an elegant and beautiful lady who does an excellent job. And I think you need to get your mind out of the gutter, you naughty little scamp. Paolo Guetta, HG, you sound like Count Dracula today. Perhaps I'm about to drink your blood. Cervantes. Hello, HG. When the Harkles got married, did Harry get Harry's wife to sign a prenup contract protecting themselves of divorce? I suspect the answer to that is a firm no. Sophia Parker. Indulge us with your Scottish accent, please. Oh, you've got to be a big man to chin big bears. Oh, Farquhar. Pass the salt and pepper. Oh. That's the somewhat camp Aberdonian known as Farquhar. Pat Ann, where are your Tudor towers located, HG? Not addresses, just general areas. Well, one of them's generally over there, and there's another one that's generally over there, and another one that's generally over there. There you are. Alien Underground 2012. Your videos have enlightened me. You have helped me escape the clutches of several narcs. Thank you. You're most welcome, Alien Underground 2012. Shikara. Would watching your videos improve the ability of unaware narcissists to spot other narcissists? Quite possibly, yes. Although, of course, the paradox is they will not recognize it in themselves, but it could assist them in identifying others. Ellie May. Hi, HG. Hi, Ellie May. Have you ever experienced a moment of empathy? Let me think. Yes, I think it was a handful of years ago, and there I was. I was just lying in the bathtub. And all of a sudden, I thought, ooh, a moment of empathy. But then it passed and everything was all right. Oh, no, no, that wasn't it, was it? It was wind, yes. No, I've never experienced a moment of empathy. I don't have any. I have cognitive empathy, of course, but I don't have any emotional empathy. Robin Kennedy, HG, could you please do a video or series on the dynamic of how Camilla and Charles work as two narcs? Well, I'm going to be doing some work about narcissistic cementation, which I have mentioned to you previously, which would include the way that Camilla and Charles come together. Kelly Stinson, HG, do you think Tom Cruise is a narcissist? Well, I've actually spoken about the cruiser elsewhere in my conversation with Andrew Gold. So if you go and look at those videos, you'll find the answer in there, and I'll get some more views as well. And thus everybody will be happy on this glorious evening. Persa Theo. Hello, HG. Hello, Persa Theo. I was waiting to see a rictus grin from King Charles during the coronation, but it never appeared. He doesn't tend to do them that often. Certainly not as many as she who's not being named tonight. They appear occasionally. He controlled his demeanor because he's a different type of mid-range narcissist, and the facade that he operates is more likely to stay intact at such a serious occasion as a coronation, rather than grinning like someone who's popped a couple of E's and is larging it up at Up Your Ronson. Katie Koo, HG, how would you react if, whilst undertaking a consultation with a troubled client, you realize that in fact it's your current IPPS? Well, the prospects of my IPPS bringing HG Tudor and saying, can you help, are somewhere between 0 and not going to happen. But I'll indulge you. Let us assume in a parallel universe that she called. How would I advise? I would tell her that you're with the most wonderful human being, that he's a prince amongst men, with a vast repository of knowledge and a marvelous, huge penis that will keep you entertained. All the other chicanery and chicanigans is just a sideshow. Try to put it from your mind, dear, and make him happy. Thank you for consulting with me. Janelle Espinoza. So, Rudy Giuliani, an upper lesser. Go to the Knowledge Vault, obtain Know the Narcissist, and you can find out. Future Girl. HG, did the royals get tricked by Harry's wife, or did they know all along and just cover it up? Excuse me. Dear me. They didn't know the full extent of what she is. What happened is they had reservations about the behaviors. Of course, they'd done background work, but they were put in an invidious position by Harry, and therefore they went along with it with severe reservations, and unfortunately, it blew up. Future Girl, HG, did you ever read Aubrey Beardsley? No, but I think I know her brother Peter. Harriet Blanca. Hi, HG, you're the best. Thanks for doing this. Indeed, I am, and you're most welcome. Oh, it's just flicked forward. I need to go back and see the answer. JQ, thank you for your donation. Much appreciated. Oh, there we are. Samantha Hadwin. Your reading list sounds like mine. Well, that's good to know. Are you mirroring me? You utter rapscallion. GAT, I think you must have done some theatre, HG. You know what? You're right. I have trod the boards. Blazing Star, bugs are truly the baddest. Yes, they are. What's really good is you can throw them at people and hit them on the back of the head to ensure that they are brought back into line. Malika, have you heard that Andrew is refusing to move from the Royal Lodge? I have. I might be commenting about that in due course. Patan, HG, if we ask a question here which you don't answer, should we assume you don't want to answer it, or that the chat scrolled and you didn't see it? It's probably the case that at that precise moment that the question was asked, a minion caught my eye, looking up at me, pleading with those big, round, puppy eyes that they have. And that annoyed me, igniting my fury, causing me to look away from the screen for a picosecond, picking up my pen of power so that I jabbed the minion in one of the eyes to ensure that he or she considered not using the puppy eyes towards me in the future in order not to irritate me. In other instances where I don't answer a question pattern, it's simply the case that I may have missed it, or that there are so many I can't answer them all, or it might be a question that I've answered before and I can't be bothered to answer it again. So there's nothing really to be read into it and thinking, he didn't answer that. I wonder why. It's more usually it's just got skipped because there are so many questions. Svenja Haas, HG, I thought you could be good scriptwriter for a thriller movie. I think you're right, but this is something you'd enjoy. I would certainly find it stimulating. That's right. Harriet Blanca, he broke my necklace, please. But you asked for it to be placed in one of the forthcoming videos, not in a live stream. Getting greedy, Harriet, you see. I told you that it would be done. You'll just have to wait and exhibit some patience. Weird Debbie M. Tom Cruise makes me twitchy. Which part? Is it your left foot? Does it start twitching? Or perhaps your right eye? Or maybe your elbow starts doing a little jig of its own as a consequence of Tom Cruise? And is it when you think about him, or is it perhaps when you go near him that all of a sudden you start to twitch? Harriet Blanca, do you have empathy for animals? No, I don't. I don't like animals, apart from when I can eat them. Sandro Sensei, she love videos very much. Thank you very much. And I watch Damn every day. So you should. Thank you. My experience with the narcissist is very bad. You say you're also a narcissist ultra. I can't imagine it. But are you also bad to others? No, I'm not a pussycat to people, ever so gentle and kind, and then a nightmare to others that cross me, of course. Laura Sofiat. Hello, HG. When are you going to publish your encounter with Harry's wife? Well, hang on a second. I just happen to have with me here the big book of publications. You can hear that. And if I open it up here, I can flick through. There you are. You can hear the pages. And there it is. The allotted date for when I launch the video, the first one of several, when HG met Harry's wife. And the date that it's going to appear on is... So there you are. The date announced. You can all look forward to that. Masquerade. Hi, HG. Why are some people scared of you? I have forwarded your vids to them, but they tell me you scare them. I can't think why. Perhaps they're just lily-livered pussies that don't really want to confront the truth. Some people are frightened of me, of course, because I am a narcissistic psychopath. And that is something that some people have a difficulty dealing with. Other people, of course, recognize that I do bad things, but they put that to one side because they recognize the efficacy of the information that I provide. Accordingly, there are some people who just can't handle the information that I put out. That's entirely fine. They are the ones that, of course, are missing out. They're the ones that are not getting the information that would help them. But nevertheless, there are plenty of other people that embrace it. There's always going to be some people who won't like what I have to say, find me intimidating, find me frightening. But often it's a knee-jerk reaction. If they actually spent some time watching and listening and reading, and bearing in mind, it's not like I'm going to reach through the screen and put one of my beautifully manicured hands around your neck and squeeze until you can no longer breathe, is it? Ria, will you do a video on Elon Musk or Elizabeth Holmes? Possibly. Tutor me gently. Who was your childhood celebrity crush? Well, wasn't a crush. I beg your pardon, wasn't a celebrity, but Uma Thurman. Glacial. Beautiful. Carol, will you be watching Man City tomorrow, HG? Absolutely. I will be doing Carol. And I will be departing in due course to go and watch Sunderland Luton. I've no affinity to either, but it's the playoffs. And that's always entertaining, watching some of the football. CDub77, greetings from Utah, HG. Hello, CDub77 in Utah. I was in a 4-year relationship with mine, disengaged within October. I bought a NARC detector evaluation. I'm excited to hear back from you. Your videos have kept me sane. Well, you are applying plenty of Utah logic there, CDub77. I look forward to processing that NARC detector for you. JAT, thank you for your donation to the DIRTS Fund. Clearly needed after that little coughing fit that the Ultra had. Sandro Sensei, HG, what would you say to Harry if he came on a consult to you? Well, of course, I can't divulge the content of a consultation with the Prince of the Realm. It's like any consultation that I would have, it would be covered by confidential terms. But of course, what we would need to do is that he would have to understand that he's dealing with a narcissist. So that would be the starting point to get him to understand that. And I would allow him to listen and allow him to put forward his views and explain to me precisely what he's been dealing with so that I can gauge where he's up to. Is he completely lost in the fog? Is he starting to see a little bit of understanding? Or is he further ahead than we perhaps first thought? So there'd be an evaluation to gauge where he's up to. And of course, he may well have a number of questions which I would address for him. But the starting point would be to get him to understand that he's dealing with a narcissist and which type, and then move from there. He'd certainly need more than one consultation, I can tell you. Samantha Hadwin, I would also love to hear our glorious narrator roast Philip in the closet Schofield. Well, he certainly deserves a roasting. I'm inclined to agree with that observation. Laura Sofiat, HG, how would you make sure Harry's wife won't recognize who you are after you publish your series when you met her? I'm going to go around wearing a tiger's face using a makeup kit that I found behind the stage curtain, and therefore she won't be able to recognize that it's me. Well, as you'd probably work out, I'm not exactly going to say, so it was on this precise date at this precise location that I met Harry's wife, and I was going by the name of this. I'll provide you with the meat of the interactions, which is the more interesting part, and the specifics of where it happened will be more vague as per the date. Raquel Al-Hagab, HG, you're on fire today. Yes, I certainly am, and I appreciate you saying as such. Savannah Gary, hello from New Mexico. Hello, Savannah Gary. You can't believe that you caught part of a life. Well, you have. So give thanks to your own personal God that this has occurred. Here's Peter. Hello, Peter. Peter's not going to tell any of you plebs where we reside. Well, you can, Peter. I invite you. You are more than welcome to write in the live chat where you reside, because it isn't where I reside. You're not my neighbor. I know it's very exciting for you to think that the Ultra lives nearby or next door to you, and I know that it's probably given you a semi-lob on. That's understandable. You're only made of flesh and blood. But I'm going to have to disappoint you and explain to you that you're not my neighbor. But if you do want to say which part of the country you live in, you're allowed to do so. You have my permission. It's not going to cause me a problem. Glinda the Good, LOL, IMO, HG. How often do you work as a voiceover actor? Who says that I do any voiceover work? Flogidon C, when are you going to tell us about your meeting with Harry's wife? I've already answered that one earlier. Have you only just arrived? Sol, thank you, HG. Germany is good, but you can always try a little hotter southern European destination, just suggesting. Well, you don't know. I might be going to a hotter southern destination. But I've not told you because you only asked me about one. Amber Fallon, can't wait for my video about Charles and Camilla. Jolly good. Yard Jockey Copy. Hi, HG. Hello, Yard Jockey Copy. Can't wait to speak with you soon. Why would a narcissist tell you that they're pregnant and then completely go ghost? Well, they would tell you that they were pregnant in order to provoke a reaction from you for the purposes of asserting control over you and drawing fuel from you by way of your response. It may well be the case that they weren't pregnant and they're just utilizing that as a lie in order to subconsciously achieve the prime aims. They would then ghost you as a consequence of most likely the fact that they'd have better opportunities elsewhere, and therefore their narcissism deems they don't need to deal with you any longer. Skylark is enjoying my responses. I'm pleased. Patan, you don't like animals or want a pet. I didn't say I didn't want a pet. I often enjoy leading a person around on a leash, you know. Beautiful collar that they wear. But do dogs like you or sense the emptiness within? Dogs are wary of me, but that's understandable. Reese Reddick. Hello, Mr. Tudor. Hello, Reese Reddick. Do you think Joe Rogan is a narcissist? Well, if you go to the Knowledge Vault and obtain Know the Narcissist, you can find out for yourself. Peter, HG, usual drinking hole later. No, I'm not seeing your wife later, Peter. I'm giving her a night off. Carol, have you completed any more on Little Boy Lost? Yes, I have. Working my way. There's a lot to write about. Just in case, would it be smart to allow the narc who broke my heart think I'm still pining for him? No. So he thinks I'm under control. No. We are geographically distant and may only see each other once a year or so. It's 99% no contact. It's a firm no from the ultra. Tighten down your no contact regime. Strange love, strange highs and strange lows. Strange love, that's how my love goes. If I give it to you. Have you seen the film Sick of Myself? It's a 2022 movie from Norway about a victim narcissist. No, I haven't. I'll have to have a look at it. Jane Richardson isn't afraid of me. She thinks I'm just misunderstood. But there we are. That's very kind. Charles Little. Hi, HG. How often do you lie? Well, lucky for you, I have right next to me here at the desk of power the liometer. And it says that today I've lied 315 times. But that's probably because I was speaking to my accountant. Cat W, when are we getting the analysis on Stephen Crowder? I want to know what his school and cadre are. Indeed. Well, it's in the pipeline. I had to go away and be about other matters, and therefore I didn't manage to conclude that. What else do we have? Samantha Hadwin, I find your voice is like smooth velvet. Indeed. To be honest, you scare me. So, Jane Richardson isn't afraid of me. Samantha Hadwin is. Maybe we'll do a poll. Are you afraid of H.G. Tudor? Well, if you're not, you should be. Let me see. What else do we have? Persitheo. Oh dear, is Peter still a thing? He's still hanging around, trying to attract my attention, which he's succeeding with because I've acknowledged two of the things that he's written so far. Bernie Kennedy wants more of the cookie jar. Sue, HG, how do you take your tea, black or white? Well, it depends which one I'm having. If I'm having peppermint tea, it's as it comes. If I'm having my Yorkshire tea or I'm enjoying some of my breakfast tea from Fortnum and Mason, there'll be a splash of semi-skimmed milk that goes in there. No sugar, of course. We don't need that nonsense. Tutor me gently. I'll try. Is it emotionally difficult or draining to pen Little Boy Lost? No, it's simply time-consuming because there's a lot to write about. Samantha Hadwin is channeling Dick Emery by saying, OHG, you are bad, but I do like you. Thank you very much. Let me see. JQ, HG, would you have been a narcissist even if your mother was an empath, or was that the determining factor? Well, there were a variety of abuses meted upon me, mainly by my mother, but other family members. So there's a possibility that if she'd have been an empath, that I would have been protected and not exposed to those other family members, though it's not guaranteed. So it's a little bit difficult to say with regard to causation in that respect. Katie Koo. HG, you stated you don't like dogs or pets, but do you want children? No. I've explained about that elsewhere. Ankle biters and rugrats get in the way. Patan, no, I'm not afraid of you, HG, at least not from this distance. Fair enough. Yard Jockey Copy asks, is it possible for the erosion of someone's empathy after dealing with a narcissist being lifelong? Yes, it is. Dan Gleacock, HG, do you think Philip Schofield is worth a look at for upcoming content? He is in some respects, but I suspect in a worldwide audience, many people won't know who he is. So, as you know, I only have so much time available to the work that I create. So, we'll have to see in that regard. Carol is afraid. Oh, no, she's asking the question, am I afraid of HG? She's thinking out loud, you see. Harriet Blanca, are you a public school boy? I went to a church school, as I've already explained. Jane Richardson, I've had my fill of narcs in my life, as I'm very attractive. If you say so yourself, Jane, I'd run rings around you. You wouldn't. When your ankles are broken, you can't do any running, you see. Sarah Balcom has made it just in time. Hello, HG and Tudorites. Hello to you. Mary, HG, are you going to do more shorts with you playing music? You're very talented. Yes, I am going to do so. Laura Sifat, HG, can someone become a narcissist later in life? No, they cannot. Tutor me gently. What about exposing the abuse of your family to everyone? They're well-off, well-respected members of society. Yes, yes, they are. Don't you worry about that. The grand design has all of that covered, as you will find out in due course. Yard jockey copy. Narcissist who owns many animals. Is this just part of the facade management? It is. Carol has decided that she's not afraid of me. Well, fair enough. Cal, HG, it's scientifically possible for psychopaths to have a limited ability to love. It may mean that you love your tertiary sources, right? No, I don't. Sue, HG, do you think Charles is envious of William's popularity? Yes, I do, and congratulations for using enviously rather than jealous. Samantha Hadwin, at HG, do you think church school added to your narcissism? No, it was already formed by then. Peter, HG, Eton was fun, wasn't it, old chum? I've no idea. I didn't go to Eton. So you're not doing very well, Peter, are you? You think I'm a neighbour when I'm not. You thought that I went to Eton when I didn't. So I'd give up, really. Future girl, HG, have you ever been employed by the Royals? It's not a question I am in a position to answer. Jay Black, what did you think of Linda Fiorentino's performance as Bridget in The Last Seduction? I haven't seen it. Do you think that I ought to? Georgina, the world behind the mask. Have you ever met Lady Colin Campbell? No, I have not. Sarah Balcom bought one of my t-shirts. Well done, Sarah. I always knew I liked you. If any of you would like to obtain some House of Tudor merchandise, and I'd encourage you to do so, then all you need to do is utilize the link that's in the video descriptions amongst the many videos, and then you can dive in and fill your boots with a whole range of excellent material to tell everybody that you're tutored, that you have seized the day in terms of logic. There's all sorts there. Hoodies and t-shirts and badges and stickers and flasks and pint pots and goodness me, there's so many gifts. You could all buy them for me and send them to me, and I would cuddle them in, imagining that you are there yourself as I treat you all like the objects that you've appeared as to me. I'm annoyed. Good name, I like it. Hi, HG. Hello, I'm annoyed. Will we ever get to hear the end of Ensnared? I kind of miss Ian. Yes, you will do. It's being worked on. Bunch House. HG, can a contagion empath become cynical towards spirituality? Yes, they can. Weird Debbie M is going to check out the merch. Thumbs up for you, Weird Debbie M. Maybe you're not as weird as you imagine. Tom Muggeridge. Hello, Tom. Can those who are narcissistic but not a narcissist have a facade of being more empathic than they really are? Yes, they can. B&W, Black and White Cat. Knowing what we know about you, why would anyone become romantically entangled with you, knowing that you do not have the ability to love and you're a sociopathic, no psychopathic narcissist? Well, I'm actually a narcissistic psychopath. You're right. Nobody should knowingly become romantically entangled with me, knowing what I am. But of course, notwithstanding that knowledge, there is still such an attraction, isn't there? Not for everybody, but for many people. Sarah Balcom's going to buy another one when payday comes. Come forward, payday. Do not be shy. Come embrace the day and let Sarah buy some more merchandise. Maribella Ruano, I dreamed that you, not HG Persona, were my boyfriend, and I heard an HGism. You noticed, winked, and told me to be quiet. I hope this gives you more than the usual fuel you get from reading comments. Well, you know what hope does? It's false mistress. It doesn't provide me with any extra fuel. Fuel provided in writing is just a small amount, but I understand the sentiment that you have advanced towards me. Rochelle Scott didn't get notified on this live. Well, blame YouTube and not me. As I have explained, you need to keep your bananas peeled and also your eyes. Well, it's only going to be a short live stream today, as it was impromptu would be the description. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for joining me. I will be doing a longer live stream very soon indeed. So you might want to start making a note of some of the questions that you have so that you have them primed and ready to ask me. All it remains for me is to thank you for joining me today. Thank you for your questions. And remember, once you know, you go, you get out, and you stay out. I'm your velvety voice, glorious narrator, H.G. Tudor, the Ultra. Goodbye for now.